how to set up shipping properly for your free plus shipping offers on Shopify. Now, this comes to me a lot in questions on social media. Tons and tons and tons of questions. So what we're going to do is we're going to take just a minute and we're going to explain this two different ways. One, we're going to explain it through having made mistakes, which a couple of us were talking about. We talked about your first product sale, you normally would jump up and down excited, but your first product sale was 0, meaning
I made 20 cents.
free shipping. It was free shipping, but then check this out. But it means 0 like this. Watch, free shipping, and then you put in your address to calculate shipping rates. You put in the address, and it still was 0. So the customer was able to literally buy the product for 0, and he had to still ship the product to them, or he didn't have to, but he did.
You have a lead.
He actually didn't have to. He probably could have told them, hey, listen, you got to pay for the product if you want it. But there's a lesson to be learned there. So I figured what I like about that story is you took action regardless. You learned something along the way. I would rather take action and learn along the way than to have all of these potential worrying stop me. So I like that action. Then we were talking, though, and a very similar thing happened to you. And I thought your story, we could use your computer, and we could explain the 3 areas inside here that you want to change. So let me set this up. Let me have Melissa walk you through this. Inside of your Shopify store, which like 99% of you said you already had one, you go over here to your settings. Okay, you have all these options on the left, right? You see all these options on the left over here? The one on the bottom is settings. Okay? Click settings. Okay? When you click settings, there's all these settings you can have here. Click shipping. You should be here, settings, shipping. Now, we're on the second box down. The first box just had our address. I figured skip past that. The second box down is zones. Actually, sorry. The second box down is carriers. And I never thought this was an issue because I thought that this defaulted to the proper setting. But it turns out it didn't.
Right. It's enabled, especially with the second. It's interesting. With the lower priced subscription to Shopify, it's not enabled. And that's where I started. But then starting with our Techademics link, when I started a new store, it encourages us to do the $79.99 plan. It is enabled there. So I didn't even think to go back and look at that. So the sale that I made, that was enabled as well. And so what it did was my customer was in California, and I'm in Arizona. So he just did carrier calculated, from Arizona to California, it's going to be $2.20. And so it showed that rate plus I think I had $7.95 for my free plus shipping. So it showed him both. And of course, he's going to pick the 220, which I would too. And I'm going to honor that, obviously. But when I called them, they said, oh, you have that enabled, and it's default enabled. So you just have to go into carriers and make sure that that's disabled if you're going to use weight-based rates.
Okay, so let's talk about that. Again, we're not going to spend a lot of time on shipping, and some of you probably already have this figured out. But number one, there's 2 types of ways that you could do shipping on Shopify. You could do it kind of price-based, based on the price of the product. You could do it weight-based, based on the weight of the product. Since most of you are beginners and aren't making a lot of money here, and you just simple is better than anything, just do weight-based. Don't do price-based at all. Just do weight-based for now. You can always change later. For right now, do weight-based only. Do not do anything price-based. So when it comes to shipping, all shipping is weight-based. You're going to set up rules based on the weight of the product. Now, when you come here to carriers, make sure it says activate shipping estimates, which means that it's deactivated. You would have to activate it. If this says, if this does not say activate shipping estimates or whatever, it says deactivated.
It'll show like USPS as a picture in there. It'll show the USPS logo. Then you know that it's active.
So deactivate that. Because then you're giving your customer an option, a secondary option of getting estimates for shipping. You want to do flat rate. You want to have one flat rate of shipping. Because you have a strategy where shipping from China to the United States is going to be a flat rate. So you're going to just be accepting $9.95 and shipping it. So just deactivate that. That's number one. Very simple. But just to be clear, does everybody understand that? Okay? Just make sure that it's not activated. It's not too difficult. That's the very first thing, other than your address, that's the first thing you should see. Now, I'm going to skip zones and rates. And let's go all the way down past zones and rates. And let's go down to packages. And let's talk about this now. I hadn't seen this defaulted. Now, again, sometimes I go through this stuff so fast. Like I said, I can't be an expert in all things. It didn't dawn on me that your default settings might be different than mine, right? Your screen might be different. Your default settings didn't have a weight of 0.
No, it's 0.4125 by default. Everybody starts with 0.4125. And what I was finding is that when you make different iterations of your weight-based shipping, it really messes things up to have that in there because it skews the math. And it took several of us, several gurus, to figure out what was wrong. So it's not, even Shopify didn't understand what we were trying to say at first until we both found the right person to say, oh, you just have to make your box weigh 0, and then all your weights will make sense, and it'll just go by the weight. So all you do is just click on that sample box and go in and make it 0. You have to just adjust it to 0 and save. That's all you have to do.
0.0 pounds, save. Okay?
That's what caused mine for the customer to become a free product because the system didn't know what 0.51 was.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's nothing. It's free.
Okay, so we're gonna make that, we're gonna change that to weight 0. Okay? Under packages, settings, shipping, packages, weight 0. So there's just 2 steps that we've just given you. Deactivate the carriers, and for packages, set the weight to 0. Is this so far? Is this easy enough for everybody to understand? Okay. Now, this next part is a little bit more complex. It's called shipping rules. Okay. Now, there's apps that do this. There's an app called a Better Shipping app. There's apps inside the marketplace that simplify this because it can be confusing. We're going to really quickly give you a basic formula for doing it manual, and we're going to talk about the 3 different things. There's shipping rules you want to give to free plus shipping products, because you just want flat rate. And then there's shipping rules you want to give to all your regular retail products. And then a third set, which is where it starts to get confusing, is what if people have a combination of both? What if they get a free plus shipping product and then they decide to add another regular cost product to the cart?
Right.
You're doing weight-based shipping, okay? Which means that you have to give it a rule that says if a customer if a customer puts in a free plus shipping product and a regular product, how much should you charge in shipping? So these are called rules. Now, 2 things before we get into this. 1, there's an app, Better Shipping. There's apps out there, probably several of them now, that help demystify this and make it simple for you. Definitely recommended. Number 2, Techademics now, through our new Shopify link, Techademics is Shopify sharing store information with us, especially when our new app launches, which means we get to find out what the biggest problems are that all of our members are experiencing. That allows us to build solutions into our app. So already, looking at the shipping thing, seeing how many people are confused about this, I'm just thinking, right at the top, settings, shipping, and then be like, use Techademics defaults or something. You just click a button, and it's all set for you. How cool would that be?
Hallelujah.
So for the sake of watching this, if you guys are watching this as a replay inside of the members area, chances are Techademics has an app that probably solves this in the very near future, okay? And if not Techademics, there's probably a Better Shipping app out there. And if not that, there's a way to do it manual, okay? Which we'll kind of walk through. We just don't want to get too confusing.
Yeah, I need to set up my the extra rules. I don't even have them on.
So you have currently set up, you have free plus shipping, and then you have, if they just order a retail product,
right.
and then the next set you're going to add is free plus
They did
shipping
both,
and retail
yeah.
combination.
And just so you guys know, for people that are like new to this, it's probably good to mention that I use Shopify app, like many of you do. You can do in your settings, this will save you so much. I figured this out with our team. If you, in your settings for Shopify app, if you just weigh everything at a pound, it'll import everything you import from Ali or whatever store you're importing from will already be weighed as a pound. So you don't have to go in and change. Oh, I forgot to change the weight because that's really going to mess you up otherwise. If you then the only thing you have to change is if you're doing a free plus shipping offer, then change that to 0.1. And that way, with your rules, you've told it, this is how you're going to charge for your shipping. So it'll save you a lot if you set up in your settings, and you can even set up verbiage that you want in every description, like, limited time only, not found in stores, that kind of stuff. You can actually add all of that, so it automatically gets put every time you bring one in. It saves you a lot of time, and we're always preaching to save time. So
Okay, so
in the Shopify app,
she's talking about a
in settings.
third-party app. Yeah,
Right.
There's third-party apps. But the Shopify app isn't even really, regardless of the app, there's a principle. The Shopify app could go away tomorrow, or a new app could replace it better. The principle is, the very, very base principle is when you're adding products to your store, you have to decide how much you're going to charge in shipping. It's either going to be based on the price of the product or the weight of the product. But you're not actually having inventory. So how much does a product weigh? See what I'm saying? So what all she's saying in very simple terms is you have to assign it a weight. If you want to sell that little banana thing, give it a weight of 1 pound. Okay? Is it a pound? Who knows? I don't know. It's probably not. Okay? Give it a weight of a pound. That way, it assigns a shipping rate to it. Okay? That's why. So every product you add to your store, you're going to add a product picture, you're going to add a name, a description. You also got to give it a weight. So you go with weight-based shipping. Okay? Weight-based shipping is better than price-based shipping because you're not doing any of the shipping. This whole thing we're talking about is drop shipping. Okay? So we're trying to take a complicated thing that people used to spend $20,000 to website designers to design them an e-commerce site, okay? And then they have to order $100,000 of inventory into a little warehouse. And then they have to hire somebody to do shipping labels and inventory, and keep accounts of it all and ship this. I mean, this is the business. This is 10 years ago, none of us were going to do this. It's too complicated. So there's only a few weird little tweak little obstacles you have to get over, such as understanding shipping. So all we're saying is go with weight-based shipping, okay? Which means you have to assign a weight to every item you add to your store. Now she's saying there are some apps that can kind of default. You can set a default. Whatever item you import to your store, make it 1 pound. Okay, so let's talk about two very specific types of weights. There's products that you're going to do free plus shipping, and then there's products you're going to retail. Those are two different weight metrics. Products that are free plus shipping, you're going to do point something, like 0.1. But products that are weight-based, you're going to do 1.0. So it's like 0.1 for free plus shipping, 1.0 for weight-based shipping. And don't worry, we're going to show you.
For retail products.
We're going to show you for retail products. So we're going to show you the two. If you're going to do it yourself without any apps, there's really 3 categories of shipping rules you're going to assign. Category 1, free plus shipping. Category 2, retail shipping. Category 3, combination of the two. Okay? And it can get very complicated. Like when I was sitting down with Lawrence Aponte, we went through like these crazy calculated rules that he has. Lawrence is like, depending on how advanced you want to get with a store, he had a huge, massive set of rules. And he was teaching these rules. And it gets very complicated. So it requires like one-on-one coaching and stuff like that. We're going to give you a very simplified version right now to at least start getting your first sales, okay? Very simple. This is not the holy grail of shipping. This is not a shipping tutorial. So let's go through set 1, what you did for free plus shipping.
And you can limit it to how many, like I limited mine to 4, you can do 6 or whatever, and just have, give them a little bit of a price break as you jump.
Explain the limit, like really like basic. What do you mean by limit?
So the limit being that if you have 1 item, it's going to be 0.1 to 0.1. If you have 2 free items, if they buy 2 of them, 0.2 to 0.2. So the 1 item, it might be $7.95. Some people do $9.95. If they do 2 items, you're going to, increase that amount that you're going to charge them, but maybe give them a slight break to encourage them to buy 2. If they buy 3, then it's 0.3 to 0.3, and you're going to, jump it again, your price as well, and 4, and however many you want to do. If I have 4, in my description, I say limit 4 per customer.
Okay, so what she's talking about, let's go back to like that little Mr. Banana thing, okay? Which, by the way, I'm not encouraging everybody advertise with that, because if you recall in the beginning I said this is something to probably get your account banned. But it's kind of a funny example, though. Hopefully, like, people watch that live stream are probably going to go get their accounts banned. It's going to be interesting.
It's all Chris Records' fault.
15,000 people watched it, and I bet you they missed that part where I said this probably will get your account banned. Okay, so what she's saying is, you got this little Mr. Banana. You're going to give it away for free. Well, what if somebody goes and I want 1,000 of those? But if you don't set up this rule, they might only pay $9.95 shipping and go get 1,000 of them. Or more realistic, 10 of them. Now, if your cost is only $3 and you're charging $9.95, there's profit. But if your cost is $3 times 10, you've just paid $30. They've only given you $9.95. You just lost $20. So you have to put a limit to how many free items they can get from you. So what you do is you go and you put like limit 4. That's a good limit. Why would you want them to get more than 1? Because a lot of people go, oh my God, this is an unbelievable offer. They might go, I want 2 or I want 3. You can charge them more in shipping. And what Melissa's saying is that instead of just charging them double the amount for shipping, so let's say you're charging $9.95 for shipping, instead of charging $19.95 if you order 2, you can give them a discount. This will slightly motivate them to get 2 or 3 or 4, but you really want to cap it. So just simple terms, I like what she's done here. In very simple terms, here's what she's done. She's maxed out 4. Yes, I'll give you this item for free. Limit 4 per customer. Also, limitations are always good. It makes it more scarce.
Yes.
The second thing is she's giving you a slight incentive. Now, she's chosen $7.95 shipping and handling, which is fine
I may change it.
as long as it's completely fine, as long as your margins are there.
Yeah.
If you're tinkering around on products that your cost is $4 to $5, then you have barely any money for ad spend, you're probably not going to be profitable. But if you're messing around with products that are like $1 and then $1.50 shipping and handling, you're only $2.50, $7.95 is great. So I generally go with $9.95. $7.95 will convert some more sales than $9.95, but it's also less margin. What she's done is she's basically said, so let's say $8. Let's round up to $8. $8 times 2 is $16. She's discounted at $1. If you order 2, she takes $1 off shipping, right? So now it's $15. $15 plus 8 would be what? $23, right? She's discounted even more significantly. Instead of $23, she's got $19.95. Now she's giving you a huge incentive if you get 3, and then only an extra $5 if you get 4. So what she's saying is that she's got some sort of number sequence. Now, she told me right before she got up here, she said, well, I actually just might change all this. So
Yeah.
this is no way her recommending that this is what you should do.
Yeah, don't just copy it just because it's there. You may
And
want
also,
to
Melissa's
set it up.
new. She's done like a sale on her store. It's not like she's up here teaching and preaching as a guru. But you guys get the idea. The idea is an escalated discount. A simple way to think about it could be this. You guys want a basic thing? What I did when I first started was I started with $9.95 of shipping, and what I did was I doubled it and then took $1 off for the next one. Then I just added another $9.95, took $2 off. So basically, it was like $9.95. If you add another one, it's an additional $8.95. If you add another one, it's an additional $7.95. If you add another one, it's an additional $6.95. That's kind of what I did, and the numbers kind of looked good. And it's enough of a discount. It still gets people to do it. Okay. It's kind of weird when people buy it. They're like, wait, shipping is $24.95
Yeah.
on 4 things. It's odd, but don't worry. It's like most people won't do that, and if they do, they understand it. Okay? You could also put it in terms if you need to. Limit 4, just pay shipping and handling on each item. Okay? So, this point thing, I don't think everybody really needs to understand the logic behind it so much. Most people are beginners here. The main thing is just the main thing is just get it right? Point 1 to point 1.
Yeah, I mean, you're just telling it that this is a free plus shipping item. That's all.
Okay, so when you guys go in to edit, okay, when you go in to edit this, and if the internet's too slow, I'm just going to tell you. Okay, when you go in to edit, notice she's got price-based rates.
Yep,
See how she doesn't mess with that? Don't mess with it. Okay, so see she's got her items here. Now, one free item dash insured shipping. If you guys were at the conference and if you saw John Alfredson, it's just something he recommended. She might have heard it from somebody else too. Just using the word insured helps add like more customer satisfaction, more customer, and you can actually insure it yourself. So like it's insured as in like if it doesn't show up, I'll make sure it gets to you. I'll insure it. So she put insured. She also put one free item because she's only going to use that for free plus shipping items. So if you order 1, it's insured. It's 0.1 to 0.1. So 0.1 to 0.1, and then you choose an amount. Most of you will probably choose $9.95. If you can choose $7.95, you'll get better conversions if you have the margin. Then she went down and did 2 free items, 3 free items, 4. All she did was copy it. Add another. So it's just pretty much like this, and then she would have like 5 free items. I don't remember what she said. It was like insured shipping. See? That's all she would do.
And 5 and 5.
Okay. So, and you got to go in here. Minimum order weight, maximum order weight. Now, 0 to 25. Imagine if you just left it like this. You see, like, this is, believe it or not, some people have a slight oversight on this, but also people just don't understand, right? So all we're saying do is just add a decimal point and then a 0.5. But then you also got to go over here and do it. See that? So you're doing flat rate. So you're basically saying if it's 0.5 to 0.5, then charge this amount of shipping. Now, how would somebody ever get to 0.5? None of your products in your store are going to weigh 0.5, although they could. You could actually assign a weight for 0.5 if you wanted. But that's not what we're doing here. The only way they would get to that is if they had 5 0.1 items in the cart, 5 free shipping items. That's the only way they would get there.
Yeah,
That
they
saves your
explained
butt.
it to me in the way is that your cart weighs things. So it's like I had a picture of a cart, you know, like weighing, 5 items are in there and they weigh 0.5.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Shopify has tutorials on this stuff too. The only difference, the only reason Shopify doesn't have like our world of tutorials is because Shopify is more designed for business owners who actually have inventory, whereas we're really kind of capitalizing on drop shipping from China. Very different kind of concept. So Shopify is not going to go out of their way to teach how to set up stores and drop ship from China.
They told me I had to set up all kinds of crazy selling.
Yeah.
They are not going to do it. They're going to really treat you like you own like a small mom and pop shop. So you got to kind of deal with that. But that's it. All you got to do, look at 5 free items, insured shipping. There you go,
And then you say
0.5.
free shipping rate.
Now, down here at the bottom, what you've got to do is you've got to determine how much. Now, you would have some sort of a sliding scale. I forget what your scale was, but it was
Yeah,
like,
it's like so $24.95 was
$30
what I did
or something.
with for 4. So
yeah, so it'd be like $28.95.
Yeah.
Now, of course, she's got to protect herself, though. She's got to make sure there's enough margin and profit. But, so you're going to basically choose this. So what would you, no, I don't know if I want to add this for you, if you don't want it.
Well, I mean, I can just go back and.
Okay. So I want to make sure, so I wanted you up here too. Is this how you would do it?
Yes.
Okay.
I actually did what you just said. I copied it and then I just changed the number. I just copy and paste,
Okay,
change the number.
so tell everybody down here. So rate, free shipping rate, rate amount?
Right, so since the last one was $24.95, you know, like maybe you would make it $28.95 or $29.90, you know, depending upon what your graduated scale was.
Yeah. You've got to have a margin though, okay? So I think $28.95 coming from $24.95 would only make you an extra $4 on that. Wouldn't be
Yeah,
worth it.
So $29.95.
But yeah, so you got to figure out what your rate is, but it's just like that, okay? Now, do you check your free shipping rate box or not?
Free ship, that's to give them free shipping. So you don't want, like, you can do that if you do like free shipping over $75 or something like that, which I started doing that stuff, but then I'm like, oh my gosh, it's going to really mess this up. So for beginners, it's probably not a good idea to do that right away because that
agree.
really messes with you. I started, I got this great shipping bar. I could say free shipping over 75. I was all excited, and then I went, that is really going to mess with my rates. And so unless you use an app, I don't recommend doing that. That is, I mean, it's a nightmare. So I would say just unless you're using an app, and when you're beginning, don't even bother with that. But if you down the road, the only time you would use that is if, let's say, you did free shipping over $75 or $100 or whatever, and then you would tell it that if it's this weight.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, definitely ways to do it. So I liken analogies to everything. When I first learned how to play golf, I watched a bunch of YouTube videos, and all I realized was, okay, you got to hold the club a certain way, you got to keep your arms a certain stiff, you got to bend over a certain way, you got to make sure you're curling at the hips, you got to keep your arms straight, keep your head down the ball, you've got to be able to hit the ball, you got to have a club, you got to choose the right kind of club to go the right kind of distance, then you got to be able to do it swing, and suddenly, that's a lot to think about. So if I have to think about all that, you know what's going to happen? I'm just going to get up and shank the ball. It's too much to think about. But if I can slow down and think about just a couple basic things, right, then I can begin, eventually I can start thinking about all that stuff. And that's kind of like an analogy where, yes, your site probably will at some point have a multitude of products and different shipping options and everything. But in the beginning, if you are not able to flip $5 ads for profit, none of that matters. And worst case, you make a mistake, costs you $5 or $10. $5, $10.
And we learned about it.
And you learn from it.
Yeah.
And I'd rather do that. So anyways, then all you do is you click done. I don't know if I clicked done or not.
Yep,
Your
it's there.
mouse was okay.
There it is.
And there it is. Now she could change limit to 5 if she wants.
Yep.
Okay. Do we all, at least for basic getting started, do you all understand? Put in 4 items. You could copy her, but change the shipping amount to whatever you want it to be. Like I did $9.95 and then whatever it was, plus $8.95, plus $7.95, plus $6.95, and that was it. Does everybody in here understand this enough that they feel comfortable? If it's a question, make it brief because we don't have mics over there.
Okay. No, I just didn't know how to get to domestic. I got to setting shipping, but I didn't figure out how to add the
You hit edit next to the domestic. You hit
Okay.
edit.
We're in the edit screen right now. So let me go back. Let me save it. So now I'm in shipping.
So next to,
See zone name domestic. Okay.
and then edit.
Okay. Yeah.
Shopify told me,
We don't have the mic, remember, so we'll make it quick.
to, like if you're gonna have a free shipping.
Oh, it's all right.
Like
No,
all my
no.
products are free shipping except for the cost, except for the free product plus free shipping. And so they had me just put 00 for the weights, but click that free shipping button.
Okay. There's probably ways to do it. Okay.
It just gets so convoluted, and so that's a thing, and that's what, you know, Chris has always taught me too, is like, oh my gosh, yeah, there's ways to game it all over the place, but for a brand new person, that's just, let's just convert the ads and sell some things, and then we'll start to add
Exactly.
the levels.
So going back to my disclaimers in the beginning, there's probably a smarter way to do everything. But this way here, at least we can all get our first, $1,000 in profits and then start doing it the smart way. But this is like the easy to understand way that the masses can begin to do this. And then you can begin to figure out smarter ways to do it along the way. I've had almost all my Shopify stores set up for me. I'm the kind of person that I'll sit in a class, I'll learn about it, but then I'll sit there and go, do I really even want to take the time to do it? And so I'm going to pay somebody to set it up for me. So I don't even know half this, I mean, honestly, I can go log into stores and I can see how it's all. If I was going to set up a store from scratch, I would log into another store and just mirror and match it. Do I have it right? But I never took the time because when I got involved in Shopify, I was already making money. I had already made over $1 million before I ever had a Shopify store. So I just leverage money. At some point, pay people to do this stuff for me. Right now, we're just trying to teach you so you have a basic understanding that we can grow from. We're going to do a Q&A session next. If the question cannot wait, we're just going to go through the rest of shipping. If it cannot wait, I'll do it right now. If it can wait.
Other countries, we've got 4 other countries that
Okay.
You don't want to
Yeah.
ship to those.
fly across the board.
Okay, so real quick, the question was other countries. Okay, again, going back to my methodology. My methodology is that I'm unique. I'm a trainer who teaches literally beginners. Fun story. I don't have a car anymore. Okay.
I know.
So that's
you're-
not the fun part of the story.
You're entertaining
actually.
Uber drivers across the valley.
But I have Uber drivers, and so far, 100% of the Uber drivers, and 100% of the rides, every single person has wanted to get involved in e-commerce. 100% of the time. There's literally, I've had maybe 10 or 15 Uber drives around here. 100% of people, they just ask what I do. Everybody wants to get involved in e-commerce. E-commerce, what we're doing here, everybody wants to do. Okay? It's legit. It's a legit thing. But I teach beginners. I teach people. In a conversation in an Uber, somebody has enough confidence where they feel they can take action. So I'm in a unique position. For me, I want to teach somebody the basics for them to make their first sales. And if I can get you there, then your confidence will build up and you'll begin learning about all this advanced stuff. And sure, maybe later on you're going to go, I wish I would have known everything up front, but I'd rather have you making money and learning as you go than spending all the time in the learning curve. You could spend another 2 to 3 years in this learning hamster wheel.
And an overwhelmed mind does nothing.
So this is my general rule of thumb for everything, going full circle to answer that question there, is I would start with the simplest method possible to make money, which would be targeting people in the United States only.
I have something to add to that too. And I've worked with Lawrence Aponte quite a bit, and I think he got to about $700,000 and just now went worldwide. He's done that to U.S. So I guess that's a good, when you get to 700,000, then it's span out. That's a good rule of thumb.
I think you could go international earlier.
Yeah,
700.
you could, but I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
It's
that
funny.
it's-
And also, one of the reasons is also because Facebook just made it incredibly easy to go worldwide.
Right.
When you're placing Facebook ads, they just added a worldwide button now.
Yeah.
Now you can, before you had to copy and paste all the countries in there and you had to do, or type them in manually. It was a lot more difficult to advertise. But it's a lot, look, we all want to have a global business that we ship products all over the world. But to be honest, it's going to be more expensive and stuff. And it's a lot easier just to, products from China to the United States, it's like $4. And you could make $10 to $20 from it, or $30. That's a good enough model. Clear out all the confusion and just do this. Okay? So I would start with just the United States. So real quick, free plus shipping, I would say go to 4 items, go to 0.1 to 1, 0.2 to 2, 0.3 to 3, 0.4 to 4. Okay. That 5th is just for illustration purposes. All right, now let's get into what about if people actually buy a real product?
A retail
A
product.
retail product. Like not a real product, but it's not a free plus shipping offer. Okay, now they got to pay
Something
shipping.
that costs money.
No cost money. Got to pay shipping. Go ahead, explain it.
So I set it up, and you can go, I mean, I don't even know what the limit is that people would buy of something, but I think I took that out to like 10. And so you start out with 1 item, insured shipping, $4.95. And again, like giving them slight breaks as you go, just like we did in the free plus shipping. And so it's 1 pound to 1 pound. It follows the same exact rule that we did for the free plus shipping. So 1 pound to 1 pound, 2 pound to 2 pound, 2 items. And you're just setting your increasing iterations as you go.
Okay. So you went up to 10.
Right.
Okay. So examples. Now, again, she's
And
not.
again, I may not, again, don't necessarily copy the numbers because I'm still learning this and I may fiddle with these numbers too and increase them. And there may not be enough margin in, like Chris was saying, to do 10 at 32. Maybe there's not enough. I don't know. I have to look at that.
The reason I wanted to bring her up is because I'm always fascinated to learn from people who are in the trenches setting up a brand new store. It reminds me what it's like to be new. If I hang out with experts too long, we forget all the important steps we had to learn. So that's why I like coming up, where are you in? Like, where's your mind these days? And it's trying to understand shipping. I mean, that's a key thing. The idea here is you're going to assign weights to things in your cart. You're going to assign rules that says each product is a pound or whatever amount of weight you want to associate with it. Okay? So these are not free plus shipping items, though. So when she says 1 pound is $4.95 or whatever, that doesn't mean she's only making $4.95. She might be charging $29.95 for that item and $4.95 on top of it. Does that make sense? Yeah. So these items, she could be a lot more flexible with shipping. She maybe doesn't even need to go up this high. There's ways to do it. Now, what we'll do is we'll do a separate, I don't want to spend too much time on this. We'll do a separate webinar on this. Okay? We'll do a separate webinar. Because there's going to also be rules. And also, most people aren't setting up manually. There's apps that do this. But there's going to be rules now that somebody might buy a free plus shipping item and a regular product item. And that's where you're going to start going into 1.1. Okay? We're going to set up more rules for that. Does anybody in here have rules that they set up for you? You had rules that you set up. Does anybody here have rules that they've set up where they actually have 1.1, 1.2, anything like that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of you guys?
Because that's a whole different scenario now.
Yeah. Do you use Better Shipping app? Do you do it manually? You set all the rules yourself? Okay.
I think a lot of people
You have that
do.
whole set like Lawrence has, probably. How about roughly how many? Do you have just the 3 categories? Or how deep do you go with your shipping rates? So I'm just on a guess. You probably have at least the 3 categories: free plus shipping, regular shipping, and then hybrid, right? The combination of the 2. How high do you go on your weights? Yeah. So he's essentially got a similar setup, probably different prices, but all he did was he did a combination of setting prices for 1.1, 1.2. So that's like a hybrid. And what did you charge for, what did you set for shipping? It could change. Everybody could have different shipping. So on your, like 1 pound, one item insured, when you did 1.1 on yours, roughly what do you have? 7.95. It's kind of like, we'll have to, like, it's weird. It's kind of like I can't just tell you all a number to do because it's also going to be based on what type of products you're going to be selling from your store. Like, for example, Peter Chan, who I had speak at the event. Peter Chan focuses primarily on print-on-demand products that he sells through Shopify, which is going to be completely different than everybody here. It would make no sense for him to do the same shipping as you. Now, if everybody here did custom jewelry from AliExpress, and we're all doing the same kind of price range of free plus shipping offers, it'd be a lot easier, right? How about this, to keep things simple? One overly simplistic way that I got started with the very first site was, all I had was free plus shipping offers. That was it. There was nothing but free plus shipping offers. Why? Was I leaving money on the table? People could have bought other stuff? No, I just wanted to make a sale. Can I flip a $5 ad to make money, profit? After that, once I'm making money, okay, it's worth me spending an hour to dive in and learn a little bit more about shipping. See how that works? Make money first, figure out as you go.